a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now, this morning I have a guest that is online with me this morning, and we are talking about women empowerment through sport. And this morning online I have the founder of Caribbean Women in Sport, Miss Shari. John, good morning, Shari, and welcome. Well, this morning, Shari is talking about how her organization is helping to highlight women in sport through her Women in Sport Day. And this morning, we're going to be chatting more about that. Now, we have a lot of women in sport, and one of the things that we often see is a lack of community and support for these women. So, Shari and her organization, Caribbean Women in Sport, is doing all that they can do to support the initiative of creating community support and resources for women in sport, not only by granting international exposure and experiences, but also providing resources and connectivity with persons who have the resources to provide the foundation for women in sports to succeed. Good morning, Shari, and welcome. Hello to my producer. Do we have Shari on? All right, we're having a little bit of difficulty connecting with Shari, but we're gonna get her as soon as we can. Oh, hi, Shari. Good morning.
I am not
I believe that I can
present.
hear you now. Can you hear me clearly?
I guys am hearing you clearly now.
Excellent. So, everything that I said in my introduction about creating a community around women in sport and helping to provide those resources to sustain those women. Tell us more about what your organization has been doing in this area.
Okay, so Caribbean Women's Sport is a nonprofit organization that assists with developing women in sport through media and marketing. So what we have for the past provide free media services for women in sport. So as we go, we cover sporting events free of charge. I've worked with many organizations, the Trinidad and Tobago Rugby Union, the Women's Cricket Association, TT Wolf organizations to provide media services for women in sport, because one of the challenges you find is don't receive the same amount of media coverage as men, and media services are expensive. So Caribbean Women in Sport provides free.
You have been having a bit of a connectivity issue there. However, when it comes to what you are now celebrating, being that Women's Day, Women's Sport Day, can you tell us a bit about that?
Right. Women's Sport Day is about creating community and camaraderie in women. What what I have found, I interview a lot of women, I tell their stories, and what I have found is that most athletes of other athletes in other sports. So this event is meant to bring athletes from various sports together to sort of get them to each other, build relationships, and um, in and out of their sport. So we have four teams made up of um, 10 athletes, all national athletes, and two second. And they come together. No two athletes from the sport will be on the same team. So they come together, they compete, they have fun, and the goal is just for them to build and create, sort of a community going forward.
All right, when it comes to mentorship and resources for these women, we understand that sport, though it can propel someone's life, is also a temporary part of life. How does the organization help women to transition into that professional life after sport?
Well, I would disagree when you say that sport is a temporary part of life, because sport, the things that you learn in sport, um, are very permanent aspects of your life. To your discipline, your commitment, the things that you learn in terms of how to carry yourself as a brand and so forth. Those are very permanent aspects that you take into your professional life always. So, what I would do a lot of times when I work with organizations is sort of get athletes to understand the need to work on your personal brand, because this is you know, in and out of your sport. It helps you kind of, present yourself and sell yourself in a particular way that I think, until you talk to, don't necessarily make the connections. A lot of athletes think that they will just do well and a sponsor will pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I want to give you money, and it does not work like that. You really have to work personal branding. You have to work to sell yourself, and this is one of the aspects of the event that I try, that athletes need to learn how to help themselves. A lot of, they are involved in things, they're not promoting it, they're not sharing it, they're not, they're just not put there. And how you get support for women in sport, it starts with the athletes first and foremost. They need to know to sell and market themselves and their sport. It's not just up to the association and the federation to do all the work. And then, because I've been in situations where the organization is doing the work to get media out there, and then the players are not supporting. So all of that just ties back to you, the things that you spawn and off the field help you to become that professional. Because the professional athletes, you are very, you need to tell them very little. They know about when to show up, how to show up, how to sell everything. So it's a very permanent aspect, and that's how we sell. That's how it's in transitioning, into their professional lives, helping them to understand that this is, a sport is not just fun and games. It is a very thing that you take on, depending on how you come at it.
Excellent. And I have seen some of the athletes from Tobago here, like Miss Karen Forbes, who has Kick It with Karen, which is a usually a yearly football tournament that she hosts in Tobago. She also has written a book, and she has done tremendous work in working on her personal brand as an athlete and also encouraging other athletes to do the same. When it comes to the comparison between communities for male athletes as opposed to communities for female athletes, what kind of stark differences have you seen?
Oh, so, and I would just like to point out that Kenya Corner also does a great job at that as well in Tobago. She hosts her own event as well. So she does a great job of that. I would say that community wise, I think people do gravitate more towards male athletes, but then you also have to consider that a lot of work goes into helping to promote male athletes. They get more media coverage. They're on TV more. People are telling their stories more. So, and of course, social conditioning as to the men's sport having more value than women's sport. So this is also something that we sort of battle with as women in sport. So it is easier for people to gravitate towards men, and that's what we're trying to address through Caribbean women's sport.
Excellent. And so this event this year, tell us about the time, the date, location, and what persons can look forward to from it.
So the event is taking place at the Tego Martin Sporting Complex. We start at 11 a.m. with the events themselves. The So we officially start from 9 a.m., but from 9 a.m. we have a meet and greet with the athletes. So they get to know their fellow teammates, because a lot of them would be meeting for the very first time. So they have them an hour to sort of meet, get to know each other, spend time, and so try to build some bonds before you take the field. Because of course, if you're not united as a team, you're probably going to struggle when you start to play team team events on the day. So if you are coming to spectate, which I would very much like to encourage, because we want to encourage women supporting women, and not just women supporting women in sport, but guys to come down and support women in sport. You would get there from about 11, and you just come. It's gonna be a very chill day. So if you want to walk with a cooler, your chairs, your whatever, we don't necessarily want you all in the stands. You can set up, on the field near the events. Come and just, bring your family, bring your friends, and come and chill, and just have a cool day out and in sport, having fun.
Excellent. Now we're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back as we talk more about women in sports and other potential partnerships that can come up from this type of event and support that persons can give to you and your organization. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we're going to be back right after this. See you soon.
Brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
You asked and standard listened. The TGIS sale is back, up to 75% off store-wide. Washers from $1,249. Stoves from $1,299. Fridges from $1,999. Patio set from $1,999. And up to 35% off Samsung and LG TVs. Plus a daily magic hour with even more savings. Follow standards on social media for the inside scoop. October 25th to the 30th only.
yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Let's go. It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now, we have been talking about a critical area in sport, women in sport. And this morning we have been chatting with Ms. Shari John, who is the founder of Caribbean Women in Sport, and she is hosting that Women's Sport Day that's coming up very soon. And you have had a number of partners in creating this event. Who are some of your partners?
Mobile. Um, Be Mobile were the first to sign on to the event, and they did so very quickly. As a matter of fact, within 20 minutes, they called us back, and within a day, they got us in a meeting and they came on board with the event. So, really, demonstrating their commitment to community and sport and youth in that way. So, really grateful to be mobile. We have NLCB as well, Carib, Vision Abode doing helping us with producing some media. Avel Branding, who is managing all of our media related stuff, graphics, that kind of thing. It's complete management services for the event, and that has been a tremendous help to us. Um, and that's about it for now.
Excellent. And when it comes to potential partnerships with possibly the Tobago House of Assembly and the Ministry of Sport, do you see this as where your organization is heading in the future?
Yes, absolutely. So we did reach out to the Ministry of Sport, and we still kind of we've invited them to the event. They have indicated that they will be at the event, and we hope to be able to work with them in the future, going as we sort of look to make the event much bigger going forward. Next year, we would also like to add other athletes from Caribbean islands, because the company is called Caribbean Women's Sport, and so therefore we would like to include the rest of the Caribbean and not just Trinidad and Tobago. And an aspect of that we are exploring is having the event in Tobago, because I always feel like the sister isle is, of course, the picturesque island that we have, and if you're having any international events, and you really want people to enjoy themselves, the best place to do it is in Tobago. So that is something that we are exploring for next year. It would just be a matter of building those relationships and seeing how they go forward to enable us to do that.
Excellent. And now, how can persons contribute, be a part, or even volunteer with your organization?
So, I mean, we're always looking for sponsorship, always looking for sponsorship. So, if you want to partner with the organization to help us do what we do, which is cover women in sport, I would say that this event is actually the first event that we have ever sought sponsorship for. It has been entirely self-funded previously. All of the media work, everything has been done for free. It's when I first started, and I started off covering women's cricket, which was my main niche at the beginning of the company. I spent my own money to travel around the Caribbean covering CWI Women's Regional Tournament. All out of my pocket, all the equipment, everything comes out of my pocket. So this is the first time that we are even seeking sponsorship for something. So moving forward, we are very much looking forward to having partnerships that enable us to do more consistently as well. Um, and that could come in any form. We are, there are different things that we do need if you want to support in terms of offering your services as a media person as well. That takes a load off as well, in addition to monetary partnerships. And there are different things that you need to get things done in terms of if you're having an event, for instance, and you need professional services, you need people to speak on behalf of the athletes. We want to train more athletes to understand branding and stuff. All of those things cost money, and it might not necessarily be to give money. It might be to donate a space, to donate lunch for these things, to donate items that we can give away, and so forth. As it relates to the event, we do have sponsors covered. However, the best way to support would be to come down to the event and support, to show the women there who are participating, and by extension, women in sport, that they are supported.
Right. And as we wrap up this morning, give us again time, date, location, how persons can get access to getting there and everything.
So November 9th, the Diego Martin Sporting Complex, we start activities from 11 a.m. Come down, walk with your crew. Come and just have, it's going to be a fun lime, right? Make it a lime, come with your friends, hang out, walk with your chairs, whatever you need. we have the stands. We provide a few tents as well if you want to be on the field supporting. We want people on the sideline shouting, supporting the girls. That's the kind of scene that we're looking for. So come on down November 9th at the Diego Martin Sporting Complex.
All right, excellent. Now we hope that persons who have the time and are available to be a part of that would definitely come and support you, support your organization, and even have those conversations with you, whether it be before, after, or during the event, on how they can contribute and be a part of that. We also want to say a special shout out to Avel Branding Agency for all that they have been doing to ensure that this event is a success. Guys, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussion. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and comments, and all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster on the air on the island of Tobago. Again, we want to say thank you to Shari John and her organization, Caribbean Women in Sport, for everything that they are doing to cover women in sport. Guys, have a great day and thank you.